Money does not just change what you can buy, it changes how much of your day is spent solving problems. At one income level, a broken phone is inconvenient. At another, it can mean losing your job, missing a shelter call, or being unable to access your bank account. So today, we are looking at what an ordinary day might feel like at every major income level. From having no stable home to having more money than most countries would trust one person with. These are general examples, not rules. Two people can earn the same amount and live completely different lives, depending on location, family size, debt, health, and whether their car has chosen violence this month. Level 1, homelessness. At the lowest level, the day begins before most people's alarms. You wake up because the street is getting louder, the shelter's opening, or the place where you slept is no longer safe. The first task is not checking email. It is checking whether your belongings are still there. Then you begin searching for the basics: a bathroom, water, a place to charge a phone, a place where sitting indoors does not require buying something first. A library can become an office, charging station, cooling center, job search center, and temporary living room. It is basically a community center disguised as a building where everyone whispers. Food depends on what is available nearby: a church breakfast, a soup kitchen, a food pantry, or whatever can be bought cheaply and carried without refrigeration or a kitchen. Paperwork becomes one of the biggest barriers. Without identification, an address, transportation, or reliable phone access, getting a job or benefits can become much harder than it looks from the outside. At night, the main decision is safety. A shelter may have rules, crowds, and limited space. The street may offer more freedom, but less protection. At this level, money is not about investing. It is about getting through the next 24 hours without losing the few things you still have. Level 2, deep poverty. One step above homelessness, you may have a roof, but the room is rented week to week, shared with several people, or located somewhere you would not choose if you had choices. The biggest financial tool is planning. You count bus rides, food portions, phone data, laundry quarters, and how many days are left before rent. Work hours may change every week. You accept extra shifts because refusing once may mean they stop asking. Your schedule is technically flexible, just never in your favor. Bills become a monthly strategy game. Rent is due, electricity is behind, the prescription needs refilling, and all three have somehow decided they are the main character. Healthcare is often delayed because missing work can cost almost as much as the appointment. Dental care becomes something you deal with after the pain wins the argument. Anything that breaks is repaired with glue, tape, borrowed tools, and a YouTube video uploaded by a man who somehow owns every tool ever invented. You become extremely resourceful. Not because minimalism inspired you, because replacing things is not currently available as a personality choice. Level 3, the working poor. At the working poor level, you have a job and a place to live, but one missed paycheck can still push the entire system over. You wake up early, pack lunch, and check whether a direct deposit arrived. Not because you enjoy finance, because the gas tank has started negotiating. Your job may be in retail, food service, caregiving, a warehouse, or another position where your time is measured very carefully. The company knows exactly how long you were in the bathroom. Your retirement plan knows nothing about you. You say yes to overtime, then use the overtime money to repair the car that allows you to work overtime. The economy has created a beautiful little circle. You may move $20 into savings, then move it back when the tire starts making a sound that belongs in a submarine movie. At night, you start an online course to improve your future. You make it 11 minutes before falling asleep beside the laptop. You are working, budgeting, and trying to move forward. But most of your energy is still being used to prevent the present from collapsing. Level 4, lower middle class. At the lower middle class level, life becomes more predictable. Pay arrives on schedule. The job offers basic benefits. The car is used, but usually starts without a motivational speech. Bills are tracked in an app. Essentials are placed on auto pay. You contribute a small amount to retirement and try not to stare at it every 3 days. You still compare grocery prices. You still pack lunch. And you still question why $12 is now considered a normal price for a sandwich assembled by someone else. The major change is that small problems are no longer automatic disasters. A utility bill may be annoying, but it does not necessarily cancel groceries. You may have a small emergency fund, enough to absorb a repair, not enough to stop you from staring silently at the mechanic's estimate for several minutes. Entertainment is simple. A couple of streaming services, a low-cost gym, one road trip you planned 6 months ago and are now emotionally committed to enjoying. Level 5, middle class. In the middle class, the biggest feeling is stability. You have a steady home, reliable transportation, insurance, and enough margin that one surprise does not immediately become a family meeting. Bills are automated, credit cards are paid in full, retirement contributions happen every paycheck. Points are collected with the intensity of someone building a tiny private airline. Large expenses are planned through sinking funds. Car tires, home repairs, holidays, braces. All the glamorous milestones nobody includes in vision boards. Healthcare becomes proactive instead of reactive. You schedule regular checkups and fix the tooth before it begins communicating through your entire skull. You can order a birthday gift without checking your balance first. That may not look like wealth online, but it feels like wealth in real life. You still work for your income, but your money has finally stopped behaving like it is trying to escape. Level 6, upper middle class. At the upper middle class level, comfort begins turning into convenience. You live in a desirable area, the house works. The thermostat has developed opinions and now adjusts itself. Money moves automatically into retirement, investments, and college savings. You do not decide whether to save each month. The system decides before your lifestyle gets a vote. Work usually involves more control. You manage clients, projects, patients, code, or a team. Your schedule still belongs to the company, but you are occasionally allowed to negotiate visitation rights. You begin paying to save time. A cleaner, lawn care, a trainer. Someone who fixes the sink without first watching 9 videos and accidentally removing the kitchen floor. Travel is booked months ahead. Points cover part of the trip, and a surprise home repair is unpleasant, but it does not destroy the year. At this level, money is doing 2 jobs, supporting a comfortable life today and quietly building a richer future. Level 7, comfortably rich. A comfortably rich household may have a net worth in the low millions. Most of it is not sitting in a vault. It is spread across home equity, retirement accounts, investments, and perhaps a business or rental property. You buy quality because replacing cheap items repeatedly has become annoying. If your phone breaks, you replace it the same day instead of entering a long-term relationship with the cracked screen. Work becomes more optional. You may run a team, own a business, lead a practice, or hold a senior role. You can take a real vacation without the income machine immediately catching fire. A CPA handles taxes. An advisor may help with investments. Insurance is stronger. The financial life has become too large to manage through one spreadsheet named Money Final, Final version 7. You still compare major decisions, but smaller purchases no longer require emotional preparation. You are not careless. You simply have margin. Level 8, ultra rich. At $100 million or more, money begins changing from a personal tool into an organization. You may have a family office, a team that manages investments, taxes, legal issues, property, insurance, and parts of daily life. Your morning may begin with a short briefing, markets, meetings, travel, legal issues, donations, and probably at least one problem involving a house you forgot you owned. Your trainer comes to you. Breakfast may be prepared. Travel can move around your schedule. The biggest luxury is no longer the object. It is control over time. You may meet founders, bankers, executives, and investment partners. A few decisions can move millions, which is exciting until you remember that clicking the wrong button now has a full legal department attached. Giving also changes. Instead of donating randomly, you may use a foundation or donor-advised fund to support schools, research hospitals, or relief efforts. You start tracking impact instead of receipts. Level 9, billionaire. At the billionaire level, most wealth is not cash. It is ownership. Companies, stock, private investments, real estate. The number is enormous, but much of it cannot simply be withdrawn from an ATM before lunch. Your day is built around decisions only you can make. Buy a company, sell a stake, fund a new project, meet a political leader, or explain why your latest public statement moved the stock price before breakfast. An entire team protects your time. Assistants handle schedules. Lawyers review filings. Security plans routes. Public relations professionals make sure your accidental group chat message does not become international news. Private travel is not only about luxury. It allows meetings in multiple cities without spending most of the week inside an airport beside a family eating boiled eggs. The final luxury is not the jet, the staff, or the multiple homes. It is having control over time, attention, and options. The biggest difference between income levels is not always the size of the house. It is the amount of time spent reacting to emergencies. At lower levels, money buys survival, then stability, then comfort, then time, then control. But higher income does not guarantee happiness, intelligence, or a peaceful family group chat. It only gives you more options for solving problems, and occasionally more expensive problems. So the real goal is not to imitate the highest lifestyle possible. It is to build enough stability that your time and choices slowly begin belonging to you. Subscribe to Wealth Files for more funny, realistic videos about money, investing, business, and what wealth actually changes. Because getting richer is useful, but understanding what you are trying to escape is even more important.